the Navy Entomology Center of Excellence, NECE, providing force health protection and enhancing readiness around the world. Mosquitoes, a family of blood-feeding pests familiar to us all and with surprising variety. Their annoying bites may seem superficial at the time, but they can be deadly and can seriously impede operational forces, ultimately impacting readiness. Preventive medicine and pest or vector control personnel are responsible for protecting people who work and live on military bases from nuisance pests and from potential disease vectors. Key mission goals include finding out which mosquitoes are present in the area, determining if mosquitoes are disease vectors or nuisance pests, identifying where they feed and breed, the time of day they're active, and what times of year they are present, as well as tracking their abundance throughout mosquito season. Understanding how to make the best mosquito trap choices for your base's surveillance efforts can help your team prevent human exposure to a wide range of terrible diseases. This presentation will introduce you to 3 types of mosquito traps. Each trap serves a specific function in support of the mission. When mosquitoes are out and biting, no doubt your base command, service members, families, and guests will take notice. But how will you know which type of mosquito is causing all the trouble? Light traps are useful for general mosquito surveillance and are the most common type of mosquito trap you'll use. Light traps primarily determine what type of mosquitoes are present. You will also be able to shed some light on mosquito activity patterns. Some mosquitoes are day biters, some are nighttime biters. Some mosquitoes are active during specific periods like early evening or the middle of the night or only at dawn or dusk. By setting a light trap out and checking it every 4 hours or so, you'll discover what kinds of mosquitoes are active during that specific time period. The number of mosquitoes caught in light traps provide the data that will help you set proper action thresholds, advise your base population on how to adjust their activity patterns, or conduct a mosquito control operation if necessary. Light traps are also typically used to survey mosquitoes before and after a control operation to see how effective the effort has been. Place light traps near areas where people will be active outside, such as housing, playgrounds, or recreational areas. Remember, you're surveying for mosquitoes looking to feed on humans. You don't have to survey every possible location on base, but a good representative area. If you receive complaints of mosquitoes biting in a certain place, consider setting your trap near there, if it's an area that people use regularly. Light trap locations should be relatively easy for you to access for efficiency. Select a specific location that is more than 30 feet away from any building and not too windy. Good locations include just inside the edge of woods or between a known breeding site and residential or recreational areas. If your catch results don't reflect your expectations, sometimes small changes in location within the surveillance site can have meaningful impact. Set out light traps at each location at least once a week during the mosquito season. Depending on the complexity of your base, the number of traps available, the extent of your mosquito problems, and the amount of time you have to dedicate to mosquito surveillance, you may be setting out several traps at different locations each weekday, many months out of the year. Keep in mind that your base usage patterns may change during the year. For example, people may use an area only during athletic season or only in the spring. And mosquitoes may be a problem in different areas at different parts of mosquito season, like when there is standing water in an area during a certain time of year. Where you set up your light traps will have to respond to the particularities of your base. Once you find suitable spots to set up your light traps, keep putting them in those same places and use a consistent protocol each time. Your comparisons of catch numbers week to week, month to month, and year to year will be meaningful. To increase the effective area a light trap surveys, lures are often added. Mosquitoes are attracted to the light bulb itself, but lures will usually increase your mosquito catch. The most common lure is CO2, which mimics the breath of a potential host. CO2 lures are usually in the form of dry ice placed in a thermal container and hung next to the light trap. Just remember to be consistent in your light trap protocol. Hang your light trap so that the bulb is 5 to 6 feet off the ground and make sure the light will be visible to flying mosquitoes. Do not place your traps in dense vegetation or too close to a competing light source like a street lamp. You may be able to hang the trap on a tree limb or nearby structure, or you may want to use a freestanding shepherd's hook. Also, you should avoid setting a light trap out when it's raining, so be aware of local weather forecasts and patterns. Light traps are usually set out at the end of the workday and retrieved in the morning. However, modern light traps have an optional light sensor that will trigger the light and fan at sunset and shut it off at sunrise, conserving your battery power. The light trap's fan will keep your catch secure while it's on. Once you've hung your trap, attach the catch bag to the bottom of the fan. Then attach the color-coded leads of the trap to the 6-volt gel cell battery pack or other power supply and turn it on. The next morning, remove your light trap's catch bag and place it in a freezer for several hours before keying and identifying the specimens you've captured. Batteries should be returned from the field and recharged for the next usage. Your base pest management plan may require West Nile virus testing. West Nile virus testing requires a collected blood sample to test for the presence of the virus. So you'll need to catch a female mosquito that has already obtained a blood meal. To do this, a specific mosquito trap is required, the Gravid trap. West Nile virus circulates in bird populations long before it shows up in people, so it is most efficient to capture and test mosquitoes that have recently fed on birds. The mosquitoes mostly responsible for spreading West Nile virus among bird populations often lay their eggs in water containing high organic content. Gravid traps were developed to specifically mimic this kind of highly organic environment. When the gravid, or pregnant, mosquito enters the trap to lay her eggs, she gets sucked up by the trap's fan and caught in the catch container. Blood-fed mosquito females will be looking for swampy areas prone to flooding, anywhere that generally has murky, standing water. And so this is exactly where you'll want to locate your Gravid trap. It is not as important to keep this trap in the same locations week to week. You can put these traps anywhere you find bird populations near swampy water. The organic water lure can be made by combining water with organic materials similar to where you found mosquitoes breeding, or a cup of rabbit food. Set the mixture outside for a few days to fully prepare this attractant to lure blood-fed female mosquitoes. Gravid traps consist of two basic parts, upper and lower. The lower part serves as the attractant container, and it supports the upper part of the trap. Fill the lower part with the organic water lure you've prepared, and then mount the upper part of the trap. The upper part, a converted toolbox, contains an exhaust duct with a motor and fan, power source, collecting duct, and specimen catch container. The exhaust duct supplies negative air pressure inside the case, sucking up specimens into the catch container. The catch chamber has a secure mesh stocking. Attach it to the upper end of the vertical intake duct. Extend the intake duct to within 1 inch of the organic water lure. Next, connect the power supply, 4 D-cell batteries or a 6-volt lantern battery, and turn it on. Manual turn-off is required at dawn to prevent the loss of trapped mosquitoes. Follow the instructions for your base location regarding how often to trap gravid mosquitoes for West Nile virus testing, how to package captured specimens, where to send them for testing, and what information to include in the shipment. Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus are daytime biters. These potential disease vectors can carry some pretty nasty viruses: dengue, chikungunya, Zika, and others. This Aedes-specific mosquito trap will be your best tool for their surveillance. Aedes mosquitoes live and breed in dark areas with standing water around human structures, so the ideal place for your Aedes trap will be in shady spots around homes or buildings, darker areas of yards, and generally anywhere people are active outdoors during the daytime. Unlike other mosquito surveillance traps, the Aedes-specific trap does not use light or swampy water to lure its prey. You can use a CO2 lure by putting dry ice in an insulated container, or you may choose a stinky chemical lure sold from the trap manufacturer to attract Aedes by scent. Once you've found a good daytime location, set your trap out in the morning. Pop up the trap body and deploy your lure of choice. Connect your power supply and secure it within the trap body. Finally, insert the funnel net and catch bag into the trap's cover. You can leave your trap out for 24 hours or pick your trap up in the evening once it's had a chance to capture plenty of daytime specimens. Freeze your catch overnight, and the next morning you can key, identify, sort, and test any Aedes you've caught. Right tool for the right job. Each mosquito surveillance trap has its own unique uses and function in support of your mission. Understanding the right circumstances for each of these instruments will give you and your team the strongest position possible to launch your assault against these disease vectors and nuisance pests. Together, we can provide force health protection and enhance readiness around the world.